Today we're taking a look at Screamer running on the Ally Z1 Extreme. Screamer, as I mentioned in my last video, is basically what you would get if anime met Need for Speed. An amazing game, a must play, definitely worth a try. I'm going to be showing you the kind of performance you can expect along with some gameplay. And if you enjoy handheld performance tests like this and want to see more, definitely make sure to go ahead and subscribe. Like the video, helps me out a lot. And let's get to it. So for this video, I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently. I'm going to be starting off with the settings, then I'm going to be moving into gameplay. If you want to skip ahead, you can, but this will basically give you a good idea of how everything is set up. Now, in order to access the settings, you need to be outside of a race. If you're in a race or a tournament mode, go ahead and exit, go back to the main menu, and from there, we're going to go ahead and press start and tab over to graphics. For my setup, I'm using full screen with motion blur set to high. You can lower this or turn it off if you prefer, but for racing games, I really do like having motion blur on. Resolution is set to 1080p for this video, but if you're playing directly on the handheld, I do recommend that you drop it to 720p for better performance. The visual difference isn't really noticeable on the smaller screen, and you'll gain more FPS this way. Scaling type I have set to AMD FSR 4.0, and previously in my last video with the Xbox Ally X, I set this to TSR, but after some more testing, AMD FSR 4.0 definitely gives better performance overall. There just must have been something not working when I tested it before, but after retesting, definitely go with this. Scaling mode I have set to either balance or performance. Performance will give you more FPS, while balance gives you slightly better image quality. Frame rate is set to dynamic FPS, and all the advanced settings are going to be set to low. Now, if you're running this at 720p or using performance mode for FSR, you can definitely push these up to medium, and I'm going to be showing gameplay at both 15-watt performance mode and 30-watt turbo mode so that you can see the difference. The first video is going to be set to 15-watt performance. Now, in this first race here, like I mentioned, everything is set to 1080p, FSR on balance at 15 watts. You can see that the game is sitting around 40 FPS range, and in the worst case scenario with a bunch of cars on screen and it's more chaotic for race, as the race spreads out, performance improves and the FPS starts to climb just a bit. You may see it steadily get to about 50 FPS. Now, however, if you're plugged in and you definitely want to go ahead and push the wattage, you can switch over to 30-watt turbo mode, which makes a big difference. You can see the frame rate jump into the mid to high 60s, sometimes even hitting 70 FPS plus. This gives way better of a smoother experience overall. If you're plugged in and you don't mind the extra power draw, this is definitely the way to play. I also went ahead and tested 1080p with medium settings. Shadows I have turned off, and FSR is set to performance at 30 watts. Performance ends up being very similar to what you saw with 15 watts on low settings. Visually, there isn't a huge difference between low and medium, so this can be another option depending on what you prefer. Again, if you're playing strictly on the handheld and you're not throwing this up on the screen, dropping down to 720p is definitely the way to go. It's going to give you even more performance across the board. However, that is going to be it for this one. This was Screamer running on the Ally Z1 Extreme. If you happen to have any questions, always feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and if this video helped you out, definitely go ahead and hit that like button. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.